Iran. Persia isn't just a country in geopolitics. It's an archetype. Understanding Iran isn't about headlines. It's about patterns, pressure, and the archetype of influence. And in the next global cycle, the pressure point may decide the balance. Long before modern geopolitics, scholars in Persia watched the sky. They believed the stars revealed patterns. Patterns in kingdoms, patterns in history, and perhaps patterns in the future. Every few centuries, the balance of power shifts. And strangely, the same civilization keeps appearing at the center of history. Persia, this day is known as Iran. Some civilizations rise and vanish, but a few civilizations return. Again and again. For over 2,500 years, Persia has been at the crossroads of empires. From India to Egypt, Persia was a bridge between civilizations. Conquered, yet never fully destroyed. Empires rise. Empires fall. But some civilizations continue through every cycle of history. Persia has been one of them, and the next chapter of its story may already be beginning. Persia and the stars and astrology. Persian scholars studied the heavens, linking celestial cycles to human events. Abu Mashar al-Balkhi, one of the most influential astrologers, shaped astrology across the world. The stars revealed patterns that repeat in history. Persia's influence on astrology and astronomy. Persian scholars played a major role in preserving and expanding astronomical knowledge. During the Islamic Golden Age, scholars such as al-Biruni and others helped develop sophisticated astronomical observations. Their work later influenced scientific developments in Europe, from the Greeks to the British to modern superpowers. The same geopolitical pattern repeats. Why? Because Iran sits at the center of three forces: energy, trade routes, civilizational borders. Today, the alliances look different. Russia, China, regional networks. But the strategy is ancient. Iran isn't just playing politics. It's playing the archetype of influence. When pressure rises, it expands through alliances, not empires. In every global cycle, there's a pressure point. And right now, the world's balance runs through Iran. Ancient Persian flag with lion and sun symbol. Even Iran's national symbol was cosmic. The lion and the sun. The symbol emerged from zodiac imagery, representing the sun entering the constellation Leo. Power aligned with the heavens. Persia doesn't just appear in history. It appears in the Bible. In the 6th century BC, the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and allowed Jewish exiles to return to Jerusalem. In biblical texts, Persia becomes the empire that restores nations. Geography made Persia powerful. Iran sits between Asia, the Middle East, and Europe, controlling historical trade corridors like the Silk Road. For 2,500 years, every empire moving through Eurasia faced the same pressure point: Persia. But this day's Persia is Iran. This day's most astrologers analyze modern Iran, using charts based on major political events like the Iranian Revolution. These charts suggest periods of intense pressure often coincide with major planetary cycles. The archetype of Iran, Persia. Empires expand through conquest, but some civilizations survive through alignment. Alignment with geography. Alignment with alliances, and sometimes alignment with the stars. And if history is cyclical, the next global shift may again pass through Persia. So let's look at Iran, planetary cycles and prophecy 2024 to 2035. The 1979 Iranian Revolution astrological chart. The founding moment of the modern Iranian state is usually tied to the victory of the revolution on the 11th of February, 1979 in Tehran, which ended the rule of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi and brought Ruhollah Khomeini to power. Astrologers often create a national birth chart from that date. Common interpretations from astrologers include strong Scorpio influence, often associated symbolically with revolution, secrecy, and transformation. Saturn emphasis symbolizes long-term pressure, endurance, and ideological structures. Uranus themes linked with sudden upheaval and radical change. In astrological storytelling, this chart is sometimes described as a nation born through crisis and transformation. Major planetary cycles affecting the Middle East, 2024-2035. Astrology focuses heavily on slow-moving planets because they symbolize generational cycles. Saturn's cycle structure and pressure. Saturn represents structure, authority, and restrictions. Key period, 2023 to 2026. Saturn in Pisces. Some astrologers, including myself, link this with ideological or religious restructuring, 2026 to 2028. Saturn in Aries. Aries symbolism is associated with conflict, assertion, and new beginnings and change of leadership. In geopolitical astrology narratives, this transition is sometimes interpreted as a period of heightened confrontation, followed by redefinition of power structures. Uranus cycles revolutions and disruption. Uranus is traditionally associated with rebellion, sudden shifts, and technological disruption. 2018 to 2026. Uranus in Taurus. In astrology interpretations, Taurus symbolizes resources, land, finance, energy, banks, controlled economy. Because the Middle East holds a large share of global energy resources, astrologers sometimes interpret this cycle as major economic or resource-related transformation. Pluto cycles global power shifts. Pluto represents deep transformation and power struggles. A major shift is happening now, 2024 to 2044. Pluto in Aquarius. Astrology interpretations often link Aquarius with networks, technology, alliances, social revolutions, new generations, different narratives, more open borders. I believe this era may correspond with new global alliances and shifting geopolitical blocs. The Persian lion and sun symbol. For centuries, Persia used the lion and sun as a national emblem. The symbol appeared prominently during the Safavid and Qajar periods and remained associated with Iran until the late 20th century. The lion represented power and kingship. The sun symbolized light, authority, and cosmic order. In historical scholarship, the symbol also connects to astronomical imagery, where the sun appears in the zodiac sign Leo. Leo in astrological symbolism. In astrology, Leo is represented by the lion and traditionally associated with leadership, royal authority, solar symbolism, creative power. Because Leo is ruled by the sun, the lion and sun together became a natural symbolic pairing in many cultures. That is why historians believe the Persian emblem combined both royal imagery and celestial symbolism. The idea of astrological ages. Another concept sometimes discussed in astrology is the cycle of astrological ages, caused by the slow wobble of Earth's axis called precession. Each age lasts roughly 2,000 years, and it is symbolically linked with the zodiac constellation. Some commonly discussed ages include Age of Taurus, ancient agricultural civilizations; Age of Aries, era of warrior empires; Age of Pisces, often associated with the last 2 millennia; Age of Aquarius, believed by some astrologers to be emerging now. It's important to note that different astrologers disagree on the exact dates of these transitions. Beyond symbolism, Persia's historical importance is also explained by geography. The region sits between East Asia, South Asia, the Middle East, Europe. For thousands of years, major trade routes such as the Silk Road crossed through this region. Because of this location, Persia often became a bridge between civilizations. The modern strategic struggle. In modern times, Iran remains one of the most strategically important regions on Earth. It sits near critical energy routes and historical trade corridors connecting Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Because of this geography, Iran continues to play a major role in global geopolitics. The 2,500-year pattern? From the Greeks, to Rome, to the Mongols, to modern superpowers. Many forces have tried to control Persia, yet the civilization has endured for more than 2 millennia. Empires rise, empires fall, but some civilizations continue through every cycle of history. Persia has been one of them, and the next chapter of its story may already be beginning.